All right, thank you all for being here. Solid win on Saturday versus Coastal Carolina. Took care of business in all three areas. Our players really enjoyed the Military Appreciation Day. I thought our athletic department officials did a nice job. We had a good group there. Appreciated them turning out. And let me say this about Coastal. You know, we took control of that game in the third quarter, but I really feel for them. They've been almost 3 weeks. They were gone from their facility and not being on any type of routine, and I thought it kind of caught up with them there in the second half. But I thought they fought extremely hard, especially without their starting quarterback, and it was a good win for us. Quick recap of the game. Special teams, the things that we did poorly first are we missed the field goal there after the big punt return. Really just missed the spot. It really wasn't Tyler on that one. And then our kickoffs, our location, Bratcher's location, was off. He's had a great year so far, but not his best day on Saturday. The positives, we had a kickoff return for a touchdown. And I think for the last 2 weeks I've sit up here and talked about how I thought we were close, but we needed to do a better job blocking, and we got that done. And it was huge versus an option-oriented team to get on the scoreboard first. That's the reason we took the ball. And Marcus did a nice job. We did a good job blocking. Rookert had another big punt return, and then we only punted once, but if you look at our punt stats, I think we're doing a nice job there, and they had 0 punt return yards, which was big. Defensively, I thought that Coastal does a really nice job putting you in some tough spots, especially running the football. The negatives, I didn't think we did a good job getting off the field. They had the ball for a long time, and they did that by having success on 3rd and 4th down. And then we gave up too many easy completions. They had some easy throws and catches. The positives are we had 12 tackles for loss, 9.5 sacks, created 2 turnovers, and they really only had 1 down the field throw that they completed. Offensively, we played at a high level. The negatives were we had 2 missed opportunities. I thought we had an opportunity to put the game out of reach early late in the first quarter. We got a turnover inside the 25. We did not take advantage of that, and then we didn't take advantage of the punt return. Came up scoreless in both of those situations, and then we had 2 turnovers, really careless turnovers. The positives, we averaged 9.3 yards per play, over 9 yards of rush, and we only punted the ball 1 time. So players of the week, Marcus Jones named Sunbelt Special Teams Player of the Week. Not only did he have the big kickoff return for a touchdown, but he also had a huge tackle on a really saved, probably a big play with our kickoff unit. Offensive lineman of the week goes to J.O. Gaston. He graded out 98%, probably the best game that any of our O-linemen have played this year. He was really good at the point of attack, and he's been consistent all year. The Sunbelt Offensive Player of the Week was Jabir Fry. He did a great job. I thought he could have even had a bigger day, really. A couple runs that I think if he just trusts his speed, he breaks out into the open, but he had a nice job. He's explosive. We were intentional about getting him the ball. We got to continue to do that. In-house, our Offensive Player of the Week was B.J. Smith. He went 10 carries, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns, and really did a nice job in pass protection for us as well. Defensively, Jarvis Hayes. Jarvis Hayes had 8 tackles from a defensive end position, which is almost unheard of. 3.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and he played extremely hard. Really set the standard with his effort and his energy on defense, and it was contagious, and we need that moving forward from him. Our scout team players of the week, special teams wise, was Micah Murphy, who's been on our team now for a couple years and does a great job. The offensive scout team player of the week was Cade Young. Really did a nice job mimicking the option oriented offense from Coastal, and defensively was Keenan Jernigan from Eufaula. Corey McCullough's Spirit Award goes to the best guy on our sideline. I thought our sideline energy was really good. We emphasized that. I thought it was much better. Was from Parkview High School, was Jonathan Adams. He's sitting out this year, but he's got a chance to be a player for us. And then our Nathan Harris Service Award does the best job in the community over the last week was Craig Slocum. And Craig got in the game, played the last 7 plays, and did a really nice job and earned himself an opportunity to play through his community service. And I think he's going to be a guy that we can count on in the future. Just wrapping up, that's a big win for us. Gets us to 4-1, 2-0 in the Sun Belt, and as you know, 1-0 in our division, which is carrying a lot of weight with the with the new format for the Sun Belt. Moving forward, Georgia State coming off their best performance of the year, easily defeated Monroe 46-14 on Saturday. I think Sean Elliott and his staff done a great job leading Georgia State to a bowl in their first year and a big win over Western Kentucky in the Cure Bowl. And really on both sides of the ball, I think they're very well coached, and special teams as well. And it'll be a challenge preparing for them on a short week. Quick turnaround. Glad we get to host it at home. Quick preview, Georgia State. They're very good on special teams. They've got an electric kickoff returner, punt returner, and Penny Hart. Maybe, if not the best, one of the top NFL prospects in our league. I think he returned one for a touchdown last week. Their punter, Brandon Wright, is #1 in the entire country in punting. Their punt return units ranked 6th nationally, and their kickoff unit is ranked 10th nationally. So really playing well on the special team side. Defensively, their defense coordinator is Nate Fuquay, who's from same hometown I am. A lot of respect for him. He's done a great job at Wofford before Georgia State. They're a 3-4 team, and they're playing a lot of talented young guys, and you can see them getting better week in and week out. They held Monroe, who I think is really good on offense. You heard me talk about them a couple weeks ago. They held them to 14 points, and that game was really never in question, and really an improving group. They got a bunch of veteran linebackers. I feel like some of these guys we've been playing against now for 4 years. Offensively, they had a big game on Saturday. They're really multiple. I think Coach Trickett does a really good job with them on offense. Good mix of run and pass. Their quarterback, Dan Ellington, is a dual-threat guy, a kid that we recruited. He played with Travis Silo and Jarvis Hayes at Itawamba. Really fast. I think they do a nice job of getting him on the edge and allowing him to run, but he throws the ball really efficiently as well. Maybe the most talented wide receiver group in our conference, led by Penny Hart. I think Penny Hart's special. Their offensive line played real well last week. They ran the ball better than they have at any point this season. Huge game as we approach the midpoint season. Game 6 in a long spell. It's a divisional game. It's a national TV game. I hope we have an energized crowd here on Thursday night. The weather's supposed to be nice. I feel like our students are going to turn out and stay and be loud. And so it should be a great atmosphere. So with that, questions? Barry?
With a short week, how do you handle practice this week? What's important?
I think we have to be careful. All these short weeks are different. It's been a little while since we played one where we had a bunch of consecutive games in a row. So the challenge on this week is we're playing the 6th game in a row, and it happens to be on a short week. So I think we have to be smart how we practiced. We kind of jogged through last night. We'll have our only real, what I call, work day today. We'll walk through tomorrow, run through on Wednesday, and be ready Thursday night to play.
Coach, speak to the run game, what you've been able to do with the run game, even with your depth depleted there a little bit.
Yeah, well, I think our offensive line is playing at a high level. They've done a good job. And I think that schematically, Matt Moore and Brian Blackman and Sean Dawkins have done a good job. We've kind of mixed it up. We've been different, given different presentations week in and week out. BJ and Jabir are both getting better, getting more comfortable. I think the fact that both of our quarterbacks can run has benefited us as well in the run game. But we need to. I mean, we've got to. I think if you look at most championship level teams and programs, they have to have success running the football. Your quarterback's always not going to play. There's going to be you may have weather to deal with or whatever. So we spent a lot of time and effort over the last 2 years getting better at the run game, and we'll be tested this week.
Just wanted to ask you the significance of that week 6 in a row versus a 5. What have you noticed?
Well, it's the difference is most of the time when we're playing this short week, we've had a bye, and we work the short week opponent during the bye week. We haven't had this year, so we're truly preparing for Georgia State on a short week. If you look at Idaho game a year ago, we played later in the year, but it was after we'd had a bye week already, and during that bye week, we worked Idaho for 2 or 3 days and really had a game plan ready to go on Sunday. Not the case this time, because we haven't had a bye week. So now we're really we looked at them this summer, but just like anybody else, they change over the course of the season depending on who's playing and how things go. So we're really having to put a game plan together in all 3 phases in about a day.
Yeah, and just continuing with that trend, what are some challenges that are presented to you and your staff on that short week? Specific.
Yeah, the thing about it is they're dealing with the same thing as well. So I don't know if the challenge is make sure you manage it the right way. And both of us, Georgia State and and our guys played a really hot game on Saturday. You know, that was the hottest, most humid game we've had all year. I'm sure it was the same way in Atlanta. I didn't look at it, but it looked like that on TV. So I think it's just how you manage it, because it's going to be hot today. You know, we're practicing in the afternoon today. So I think you just got to be real careful how you manage your players and make sure that we're as fresh as we possibly can be on Thursday night.
How is Caleb doing? I know he got, roughed up a little bit at the end of the game Saturday night.
I think he's going to be fine. Yeah, he really got stepped on. Friendly fire. Tristan Crowder stepped on him, which he's a pretty big guy, and so he got stepped on. I think he's going to practice today, and I look for him to be. He finished the game. You know, that happened. It's kind of karma. He had an out cut he should have thrown on that 4th and 5, and then Crowder stepped on him, and so. But he came back, played the rest of the way, ran the ball several times, so I feel like he'll be full strength on Thursday night.
Coach, over the past 3 years, your team has started 4-1. How important is it to start that fast, and what does it do entering the second phase of the season?
Yeah, well, you can't finish well unless you start fast. You know, I mean, so that I think that the schedule's been in our favor the last couple of years. Several of those wins have come at home, and so, if you look, I think I think how you start your conference play is critical. Because really, I talk about surviving and advancing. I look at it as the way the NCAA basketball tournament is. You survive and to play another week, and that's the way it is in conference football play. We win last week, which gives us an opportunity. We're 1-0 in our division. We survive and advance for the opportunity to play another game against Georgia State, and then that's the way it is. Each and every week, you're surviving and advancing, trying to get in a position where you can play and hopefully host that conference championship game. But I think it speaks to a lot of what we do in our off season. We kind of prepare our guys, how we set up our schedule in the summer and the spring and in the fall camp of how our season's going to go. So I think it speaks well on our preparation.
You've talked before about your background, family, and professional background with educators. Can you speak a little bit more about the Extra Yard for Teachers this week and what that outreach means to you personally? Yeah,
well, I think it's important. I was confused because I thought we were celebrating on the first game of the season, so I got confused. We were celebrating both. All right, so my mom and dad are both here today, Barry, so you teed that up, so that was good. Now, I think it's the CFP's that's their initiative, and I think it's been great. It's generated a lot of dollars for educators, and I can speak. I know my mom's right there. She's an elementary school librarian. I can remember going to the parent-teacher store, and she's paying for that out of her pocket, and all the trips to Walmart and et cetera. But I think, and I had a quote that when the Sun Belt ran, they were talking about the CFP. I don't think there's a more noble profession than educating. And that's the way I feel about it.